Right. Good day, everyone. This is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, America's #1 dispatcher and freight broker training. Today is Sunday, the 7th of December, 2025. So, uh, a day in infamy that will go down in infamy uh, for those Trivial Pursuit players. If you don't know what day today is, uh, some of you may know, some of you may not. I don't know. This December 7th, I think it was 41, was a day in infamy as it relates to Japan and the US. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. Um, Today I want to talk about because someone sent me I think it was Desiree maybe sent me an email about it could have been, correct me if I'm wrong, about getting a carrier and then getting the documents from the carrier.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I have all the documents from him, actually. Um, yeah, I have everything from him already. He sent everything yesterday, like yesterday evening.
Okay, so you're okay then.
Um, I think I am. The only thing I'm confused on, he sent me a lot of insurance documents, and so I don't know which ones I need and which ones I don't need.
Okay. Douglas, I'm sorry I missed your call, man. So the insurance documents, let's go into that. So for those who are tuning in, oh, by the way, congratulations, Desiree. She has her first carrier.
All right. Okay. Okay.
So
Thank you, but
Yes,
I'm nervous.
sir.
let me
Yeah.
let me
No, I'm
let me
nervous.
give
I'm
her
so
I
nervous.
didn't I
I'm
tell you? I'm like, your shock is gonna be, oh my God, I got a carrier. I told
I'm
you.
so nervous. I am. I really am. I was having anxiety yesterday, a lot of anxiety in
so
my stomach.
let me ask a few questions. Number one, the first question I always ask when a student or a dispatch business tells me they got their first carrier, I always ask, well, what kind of equipment type does that carrier have?
He has a 53-inch dry van.
83 foot?
Yeah, through 53 foot. I'm sorry, 53-foot dry van. He's in Michigan. The only thing is he's interstate only, and he doesn't want to do OTR. He wants to be home every day. He's
Well,
Mm.
in between two major highways. So he's like in a nice area where he can get to, do daily runs.
what city in Michigan is he based?
He lives in Leslie, Michigan.
Leslie, Michigan. I've never heard of. I'm from Detroit, and I've
So
never heard of Leslie, Michigan.
he is in Leslie. He's by like Lansing is close to
Oh, okay.
him.
Yeah.
Detroit, if he do a Detroit run, a Kalamazoo run.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but he just does not want to be in North Michigan. He said because it's no freight
So
coming
he's
out.
what about the UP, the Upper Peninsula?
Yeah, he's been driving for 32 years. Very nice guy. Very easy because I asked him what was his RPM. He didn't necessarily have one because his truck is paid, so he just has his, operating expenses, his insurance, and of course the fuel. So he say, his revenue goals is between 2,500 to 3,000 a week. He
Oh,
understands his limitations because he's not interstate. But he's thinking about investing once his plates like expire in February to go ahead and make the switch so he can hit Ohio, and those other states that's in the area where he's at. He's super nice, super easy, not tech savvy. And he just said he needed dispatching because he can't dispatch himself because by the time he drops off his loads, he barely can find a back call back home to Leslie.
man,
Correct.
you got a bird in the hand right there.
So so let me start. Let me circle back. So you got a drive in, 53 foot drive in, type, which is this right here. He's in the he's in the Lansing, Michigan area.
Yeah. By
Okay.
Ann Arbor. Yeah, he's right there.
Okay. Um, he has an intrastate. So you asked him what was his RPM. For those who are listening, RPM is his rate per mile or cents per mile. How much is he looking to make for each mile he drives? What does he want to make per mile? Right? What is his rate? Is called RPM. It's called CPM. Even dollars per mile. How much? Basically, how much he wants to be paid. Right. So those who are listening in who may not know what Desiree meant by RPM. Um, so he is an intra-state type. He has an intra-state type of authority, which means that he can only run his truck in the state of Michigan. This is Michigan right here and the Upper Peninsula part of Michigan. But he says he doesn't want to go um, to the Upper Peninsula part of Michigan. He just wants to stay in what we call the glove. It looks like a glove, so we call it the glove. He wants to stay in the glove part of Michigan. Okay. Does he have, that's a great question that Douglas just asked. And I don't know if you know this or not, Desiree, but does he have a sleeper um, tractor or does he have a day cab?
I didn't ask him that only because he told me he didn't want to be over the road. And you're
So
talking like,
if I'll take an educated guess, since he's intrastate, I
hmm
would assume that he has a day cab. He doesn't need to have a sleeper because he's not going over the road.
Yeah, he said because he's been driving for 32 years and he just wants to be home every day.
So in those 32 years, has he ever been over the road?
Yes, he has.
Okay, so he knows about it. Okay. So sleepers and there is a difference between a sleeper and a day cab, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you know the difference between a sleeper and a day cab?
Actually, I just found out yesterday because another lady called me and she said that she has a day cab, so her driver can't do over the road. So when she said day cab, I asked my friend Chat
Why
GBT
can't
what
you
it
go over the
was.
road? You can go a little bit over the road with a day cab. You just got to stay in a hotel or something, get some per diem. But
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
limited how with a day cab how many miles you can go, but you can still go over if you go over or up to about 150, 200 miles, but it's in another state. You just went over the road. So, but you're not that far, but it's OTR. If you go in from one state into another state, even if it's 50 miles, you're over the road because you crossed into the next state's line. You did what's called an interstate shipment, right? You did an
Okay.
interstate transaction. So, but but I get what they're saying. So, okay, so what is his rate per mile?
He he didn't have one. He just gave a revenue goal of wanting 2,500 to 3,000 a week.
2,500, 3,000. Now, how many days a week does he want to run? Five?
Monday through Friday.
So if you do the math, 2,500 to
That's
3,000
about
divided by
5 to
five,
6. Mm-hmm.
5 to 600 a day.
Yep.
So now you have a target range that you would have to try to find him loads in.
Yeah.
$500 to $600 loads, and only within the state of Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And coming to where he's based out of. What is the market rate for a drive-in on deck?
Um, that's just good. I'm going to close it out.
Let's take it out. Let's go into, let's look at trend lines for a second. And well, not the video, but let's go to the trend lines. So the average market rate for the Midwest is because it's going to show it in that zone, right? So on this particular van national rates. So right now for the vans, and this is a 15-day average, 233 average. So give or take 20 cents. So the range will be between low end 213, high end 253 per mile in the Midwest for
Mhm.
a drive-in. Okay. So now when is he looking to run? Is he looking to run? Well, because you got all your materials, your documentations and paperwork back from him.
Mhm.
When is he officially looking to run?
Well, when I was going over stuff with him on the phone yesterday, his wife was like, "You need a load." Like, so he needs to start tomorrow.
Okay.
Um,
How
but
old is his? How old is his? He's been on the road for some amount of years now. He may have been a company driver. Was he an owner operator all those years, or how old is he?
no, no, he's a new authority. I think he went into effect sometime. Let me pull it up in
I could
August.
I could do it for you.
Um,
You have his
but
MSP?
yeah, hold on. The good thing about it though, he also has brokers that he gave me information on that he's already like onboarded with.
Okay, well,
Um,
and that's ahead. You're ahead of the curve. If they have loads in the area that he's trying to stay in, you're ahead of the curve.
mhm. It's 171-4565.
That's MC or DOT.
That's his MC.
Okay. William Marion Miller and Danielle Marie Miller,
Mm-hmm.
Leslie, Michigan. That's him right there. So he's based in Leslie. So let's go back to Google and I'm gonna put the actual specific city so we can see a baseline of literally.
I'm looking for some loads too for.
Oh, you looking already? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him. He needs to he did give me his he already has truck stop. He gave me his login yesterday, but the verification code that they sent to his phone, he kept giving me the wrong one. So it locked him out. So he needs to reset his password. I have a call with him after our call so we can walk through all of that so I can start looking for loads for him. And
Oh,
he likes to start at 3 o'clock in the mornings. He likes to start early in the mornings.
Okay, so the
okay.
area is better. Okay, so Leslie's right here in the center of the screen on Route 127, I-496, 96.
Yeah,
96.
that's the highways. That's how he was saying that he's right next to.
Yeah, so yeah, 96 is the Jeffries and 94 is the used to call it the Fishers Freeway. And then you got I-75 that should go up in there too, but the yeah, 90, yeah, he's right here, Leslie. So he'll take 127 to get to the major interstate, either
Yeah.
94 or north to 496 or 96. So but
Yeah, I found the load for it too, but I'm doing the same thing.
You did, Douglas.
look at that.
Hmm.
Look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Douglas, you on truck stop?
Yeah, I got truck stop,
Okay.
and 123, and right now for training purposes, I am using the direct freight, which is a part of the portal, the
Yeah.
membership portal. I just
Well,
used
let's go to
I just
direct
used
freight.
direct freight.
Let's
You
go.
just found something on okay.
Let's go to direct freight services. So under module two, load boards, let's go to direct freight. What parameters did you put in?
I put in the origin, which was Leslie, Michigan.
Okay, in 1 second. Let me make sure I get my right login. Let me see. Oh,
Desiree, you go, girl.
you go.
I'm like a deer in headlights now because
You
That's
good.
why we're here, man. Well,
everything I've learned, it's I'm drawing a blank.
Well, but it's good that the portal's here. You got everything in front of you, right? Info at
Got to get over them nerves first, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I like him though. He seems like he's gonna be really easy to deal with. And the fact that he understands right now because he's just intrastate what his limitations are.
So
Right.
let me ask this
Um,
question because someone asked the question, I didn't answer it or asked you to answer it. How did you get him?
I was doing cold calling, and this day I was just over it. And his wife answered the phone, and she was like, "Oh, he's over the road. I'll give him your information." And she was really short with me, and I was like, "Yeah, she's not gonna give him the information." So Tuesday we had a snowstorm. Tuesday, and my daughter had to go to work, and we was on the highway, we was slipping inside, and he had happened to call me and left me a voicemail. And then when I got home, that's when he said his wife gave him my information. So um That's how I got him.
And
So
did you attend
I put
Shasha's cold calling class?
I did.
so Leslie, Michigan, and I'm gonna put the destination. I'm just gonna put the state of Michigan because he just
Yeah.
wants to run in Michigan.
Yes, sir. That's what I
Entire state.
did.
What was your deadhead? 100 miles?
Yeah.
What did you put, Douglas?
Oh, you talking? Okay.
I did the radius of 100 miles. So you should have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Should have about eight entries.
Okay, I'm gonna do all either full or the. Does he have weight limitations, Desiree?
42,000.
42,000, which is sounds about right. So
Yep.
we'll just say less than. We'll just put all. We'll see the weight showing,
Yeah. I
and
just
then
did
we'll just
all.
yeah, and then we'll see what happens. Length 53 feet. Any ship date, blah blah blah, and then we'll sort it by the newest load. Right? You
We
can sort
can't
it.
see your screen, Charles.
Well, heck, let me show you my screen.
Thank you.
There we go. Can you see it now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I did a ship date of the 8th tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. So what I did, the origin was where the driver is based at, Leslie, Michigan, with a radius of 100 miles. Destination, since he only runs in Michigan, he's in trust state. I only put the state of Michigan. The equipment is a van. I'll X that out so it will show all these equipment types. I just selected van and it hit done. Load side, I didn't put any ship date. We put tomorrow, which is the 8th, starting out tomorrow. The age you want to, so the result set you're going to get from your search, you can sort it by different options. We want to see what the newest one is. You can sort it by how much it's paying, all these different options. The default is age, which is, when it comes in. Weight, I'll just leave all. I may put less than 40,000, or I just might put all. He said 42. We'll see if there's any weight that's either blank. We'll have to call that broker and ask him what the weight is. Otherwise, we'll look for weight that's 42,000 or less. Okay. And then we will hit search. And it's thinking. Now, you got the same parameters. I got 8 options there, Douglas.
Yep. Yep. That's it.
Okay, so we'll scroll down to the result set, which is right down here, all of these.
Yep. I
And
sorted it by pay rate though.
so what you can do is even though it's sorted by age, you can go over to the pay rate column and just click that link, and it'll put it in order of highest to lowest. Okay, it's thinking. You'll see it change. There we go.
Yep.
So
That's it.
your goal, Desiree, is to make him at least 500 to 600 a day. So you got 3 options, the top 3, right? As far as numbers, now you got to see. Well, since he's only running in Michigan, that shouldn't be too far anyway, right? He's in Michigan. So now you got from Detroit. The first one is from Detroit, and it was age yesterday. It was posted yesterday, the age, which is 1 day ago. It's deadhead. It's in Detroit, which is 90 miles from Leslie. That's what that means. Deadhead miles, DH miles, right? It's a 209 trip miles, the total miles. What I mean by trip miles is from the time you pick it up at the origin to the time you drive it and transport it to the destination, which is Montague, Michigan. That is a 209-mile trek. But if he wants to take this load, he has to first drive 90 miles to Detroit from Leslie. You understand, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So he has to drive the 90 miles and then drive 209 more miles. So he's going to do about 300 miles total because he got a deadhead 90 and then transport the freight loaded 209. You guys follow that?
Yeah, the weight limit is over what he wants, though.
The weight limit is overweight, 44. So he says so his tractor, he has a dry van, he can scale it. The most he can scale is 45,000. He just wants to do 42 because of fuel, probably because of fuel, one of the
For the
reasons.
fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the major reasons. So you can present that to him and say, hey, I got one that's 44, it's paying $700, it's 3.35 a mile, but he's only concerned with the dollar value. So it's paying 700. And it picks up tomorrow. And it's the credit rate of the broker is pretty good, 97, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Keller Logistics, that's the brokerage. So let's say you wanted that load. If you want any of these loads, you would just click in anywhere in here to open it up to get some more details of it, right? And then it'll show you some details of it, of the load here. So you can kind of see if there's any special instructions or anything that'll catch you off guard, so you'll be mindful of. So it picks up Monday and it delivers the next day, Tuesday, right? $700, 209 miles. He could do it in the same day. It depends on what time it picks up, but he can have it there the same day, but it's scheduled to deliver tomorrow. Now he may call the shipper or not the shipper, the receiver, and say, "Hey, I'm here now. Would you guys receive it?" Even though I transported it Monday, I got here Monday afternoon and Monday night. If you guys are a 24-hour shipper, first come, first serve, I can drop it off now. Otherwise, I can just do my reset and just drop it off in the morning as scheduled, right? And that's something he'll say, right? That's something you ain't got to worry about that. That most drivers will do that. They'll see the parameters of the load. Okay. The Keller Logistics Group, that's the broker, their phone number. The equipment type is a van 53 foot. It's a full truckload. So it's 44,000 pounds of a full truckload. Okay. And then shipper's comment, solar panels. So he's hauling, that's the commodity. He's hauling solar panels. And this is the load number. So that's going to be it's going to be on the Raycon, because the carrier is going to need that when they go pick the load up. He's going to reference that so they can load his trailer with the right load, because they may have multiple loads going out of solar panels, but they got to make sure that he gives them the right one, 2193985. Okay. Again, that's something that the carrier worries about. Now you can reinforce that and make sure he follows it, but you know, and then we got reverse searches, back hauls, 13 back hauls. But you ain't got to worry about that because he's in the state of Michigan. You can just do another look. You can look at it, that's fine. Right? But that's how you look up a load right there. Now let's go to the next one. And the second and the third one. The second one falls within, and it's actually a little bit more decent, right? It seems to be. So it was yesterday. It's picking up in Novi, Michigan, which is 71 miles from Leslie. So he's going to drive 71 miles, pick it up, and then transport it to Weaverville, Michigan, which is only a 43-mile trip. Okay.
Yeah, I see that.
And it's a full van truckload. It's $23,812, $700. It's paying, which is $16.28 a mile. That draws a red flag to me. I want to open that up because that might be like a turnaround. It might be a back and forth kind of thing. But we'll open it up to get the details. And if you were interested in it, you would call the broker and say, "Hey man, this seems to be good to be true. 43 miles for $700. What's going on?" And then so open it up and see what the load details are, so you can kind of
Dry goods.
huh?
Dry goods.
It's dry goods with the load number of that. The load age has been up there for a minute yesterday. So I would see, because loads like that is too good to be true. $700 for 43 miles. He may.
So what are some red flags that you might,
Right.
when you see this, what are some red flags that I'm looking for or asking, like what?
Number one thing that jumps at, what's the number one thing that jumps at you guys?
Well, that rate.
Rate per
There you
mile.
go. That weight per mile, $16.28 a mile. That jumps at you because, and the reason why it jumps at you because it's the small miles divided by the cost. So $700 divided by 43 miles is $16.28. Yeah, but
Now, is it possible that some details are missing, that this is critical, which is why they
that's
pay
so
this
that's
rate?
another thing. So sometimes red flags is not always a bad thing. Red flag could be a way where you want to call that broker and get more details of the load just to reinforce the fact that it may be a good load. Like Mr. Ellis just said, this may be a high commodity, even though it says dry goods, the value of the goods may be such that they're willing to pay this high amount to get it from Novi, Michigan to Weberville, Michigan. Weberville, Michigan from Novi. So, but I would call them. DeGroot Logistics Inc. Call them and say, "Hey, I'm looking at this load, load number 1662204 for a drive in coming out of Novi going to Weberville. Is that load still available? Right. Now, some of it, now here, you can book online. You can, enter the bid, book online, whatever. But I will call it because I want to talk to somebody, get the details of it. I want to talk to someone. Say, hey, just calling I'm interested in the load, just trying to confirm the details of it, and just to reconfirm that what was posted is in fact what it is, right? And then go from there. So that's number two. Then number three, the third one now, because I'm not going to look at 4, 5, 6, and 7 because they're below the carrier's standard, right? If he's looking to make 2,500 to 3,000, that means between 500 and 600 a day. So 475 and all these. Now he may go with 475s. That's close to 500. $25. Okay, that's fine.
Well, he said yesterday we was talking, when he's going out line haul, he doesn't want to move his truck for no less than 450. Like he doesn't want to move his truck for no less than
Okay,
that.
now there's another interesting dynamic. So that just opened up two more options. Right? So we were going to look at the first three. Now we got to look at 4 and 5 because that's more than 450, $450, right? So now you got five choices right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to look at. Confer with your carrier, see which one he interested in, and then call the broker to make sure it's a real load, right? So those
Yeah.
those are the challenges that you have. I mean,
Let
not
me ask a question. Like because it's Sunday and if these brokers, he's not set up with these brokers because it's Sunday and I would have to get like, let's just say we wanted to book the load. I would need to get in touch with his insurance company to add that broker as a certificate holder. Now, because it's Sunday, I won't be able to do that, right?
you would need to get in touch with the insurance company to add that broker as a certificate holder if that broker asks to be listed as a certificate holder. If they don't ask to be listed as a certificate holder, don't waste your time.
So that's not a given. That's not all the time. Oh, that's not
That's no,
something
it's
that
not.
it's
No,
broker specific.
it's broker specific now, and it's mostly new brokers because they want the guarantee. Most brokers who've been around a while, they have the liquid cash flow and they have the backing behind them with their factoring and stuff like that. They don't need a carrier's insurance as a certificate holder. They're straight, right? But most new brokers, that's for most new brokers. Okay, that's a little bit more advanced, but that's just a it's more, in other words, it's more common for new brokers to ask for a carrier to be listed as a certificate holder, especially if you're a new carrier. They're just trying you out. They want to make sure everything is on the up and up, right? So,
Okay, so I just put
Hey
that note
Charles,
there.
here's the trick.
I
Here's a
thought
trick
that was
to
always so. Okay.
yeah, go
oh, I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Douglas.
I'm like, here's a trick too that I'm looking at with those two loads, that Detroit and that Novi.
Right,
Let's say she did book that load tomorrow from Novi to Weberville for 700.
right,
He takes that load. If you look on Google Maps, once he drops in Weberville, look at the deadhead to Detroit.
right.
It's
It's
only
probably
71 miles.
right. He can go ahead and grab that one in Detroit and
Then
then
he
go
could
to
grab that
Montague.
one and then take that to Montague, Michigan. That's just $1,400 he made in a day. He
You
already
talking
met
about
his
those
weekly.
first two loads? I see them.
Yup.
Okay.
Right. So that's
So
another thing you can strategize. You see how, yeah, you'll see the distance between all these.
And
Uh,
I would just need to get the pickup times and drop off times to make sure it's going to work.
you definitely need to do
right.
that. Yes,
Okay.
and you
Now the
definitely
other
want to have.
kicker is calling these brokers, ensuring the catch is going to be if these brokers are going to take him since he's under a new authority.
Okay.
Since his authority is freshly new. So that's why having more options, those 5 options instead of those 3, works because let's say the broker doesn't want to deal with that young of an authority. Now you have to pivot to something else. So, but if this broker is good, get that first one, that Novi to Weberville, and then while that one's working, once you get that one locked in, start working on that Detroit to Montague.
Yep. And you'll know that once you give that broker your carrier's MC, they're going to look up in their system to decide whether or not they can work with that carrier based off of the age of the
Yeah.
authority or anything else. Because the MC is going to show a lot of information on the broker side. They have systems in place where they can see information about everyone's authority and any red flags on their side.
Mhm.
So and then they'll go from there. But congratulations again. You got some work to do.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
So what
Um,
did you when you called the person? So you spoke to the wife first. You didn't speak to him.
yeah, I spoke to the wife first. He was on the road, and like I said, she that day she might have been frustrated with some things, but I was like, yeah, she's not gonna give him the information. And lo and behold, she did. And, financially, like, he's been digging in his savings and, they got to make it make sense. Cause he used to, when he got his own operator, when he got his authority, he was with a company where he had dedicated routes, dedicated lanes.
Mhm.
But that company, I think a couple of months ago, that company just shut down. So now he's having to find the loads himself and trying to make it make sense.
Right. So a question was just asked, and I answered it to her privately, but I'm gonna ask it publicly. Barbara asked, can she push his experience, although he has 32 years, he has a new authority, but 32 years driving. So it's not going to matter in the eyes of a broker. They're going to see the age of that authority. Even though he has 32 years driving as a company driver, perhaps the moment he gets his operating authority, that goes away. The clock starts from there. You see? So, and it is possible that what Douglas said, you can negotiate. Hey, my guy, even though he has a new authority, right? But he knows how to drive the truck. He knows how to park it and dock it and do all that other stuff, right? So now you're switching it and putting it in the broker's hands. But most brokers in the interest of their brokerage, uh, probably will not take that risk because they got a lot of overhead to deal with. They got the number one overhead most brokers are dealing with is their customer, the shipper. So if they got a requirement that the shipper says, hey, I don't want you guys hauling our freight with carriers whose authorities are a year or less, then that broker cannot work with a carrier whose authority is a year old or less because it's a requirement of their customer and they want to keep their customer because that's how brokers make their money, right? So it's a catch-22, is a win-win or lose-lose situation, however you want to look at it, right? Now, if you have a broker who has some flexibility and been knowing their customers for a while, they say, hey man, I got a truck for this load. He's not his authority's not old, but I know the guy. He's a friend of mine, or I know he's been a driver for a number of years. He just started his authority, so that shouldn't be a problem. Plus the fact that the value of our commodity that we're moving this instance is not real valuable, and I'm going to list my brokerage as a certificate holder on his insurance provides more coverage. Plus, I have contingent cargo myself as a broker. Shipper say, okay, so you're assuming all the risk. Go ahead. You're assuming all the risk. But those situations are rare. So, but yeah, but since his new, there's a reason why a lot of brokers are adamant and reluctant of giving new authority carriers a chance, even though you may have been a driver for 50 years, your authority is new, right? So, and it's for protection purposes and insurances. What are insurances and assurances? What assurances do I have that my freight, or the broker says to the carrier that the freight you're hauling for my customer is going to be picked up safely and securely, transported safely and securely, and delivered safely and securely? What assurances that I have, other than the fact that you've been driving for 30 years, your authority is new. So am I to assume that you don't know what you're doing? Or am I to assume that you do know what you're doing because you have 30 years of driving experience? So it's in the onus of the broker in some cases. So, all right. But Desiree talked to the wife. The wife she felt the energy and she did get with the husband. The husband got back with Desiree. Now, did you conversate with the husband?
Yeah, when he called me.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've been communicating all week. Like he was, I told him I sent him like a onboarding document checklist for everything that I needed. I sent him the carrier agreement. He signed the dispatcher carrier agreement that day, Tuesday. He signed it. But we were waiting for the limited power of attorney. So we've been communicating all week, and him letting me know, what side where he's at with sending me the documents because his wife had to do it for him. And so I was not reaching, didn't want to be pushy. So he just was
So
always
what does that
letting
tell
me
you
know.
guys? What does that tell you guys? That may have been over you guys' head. That may have been over some of you guys' head. But when you send a dispatcher carrier agreement to a carrier and they sign it and get it back to you the same day, what does that tell you? What do you guys think that tell you?
They need somebody.
Need somebody. Ding, 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 ding. If a carrier's taking all day, like if you take a day or 3 days, if you want me to be your dispatcher, if you really want me to be your dispatcher, give me the paperwork as soon as you can. I don't want to sound like I'm rushing you, but as soon as you can, the sooner you get me the paperwork and we get under a contract agreement, the sooner I can provide loads for you and the sooner we can start making you some money, right? But if you're taking 3 days, 4 days, and I gotta chase you, first of all, I'm not gonna chase you. There's too many carriers out there that need my services. I haven't found them yet, but there's too many carriers out there who needs this type of service, right? So if you send one to someone and they get it to you the same day, yeah, they want you. They're giving you an opportunity. How about that? We'll put it like that. Now you have to perform. And I don't want to sound like I want to make you nervous, Desiree. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry. I'll be calling you. I'll be emailing Douglas. I'm gonna be bothering you guys. So
I'm officially changing my number as of today. But,
I
but yeah,
got your wife's number. Don't play with
oh my
me.
God, yeah, she going. Child, why is it? Desiree keep calling me. What you got? I had this low.
No, I think I'm gonna be fine. Like I said, he makes it easy to work with. Um, so we'll see. I know I did tell him the first week is gonna be a little bumpy because we're learning how to work with each other. So he understands that, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and that's a good. I'm glad you made that. I'm glad you first of all realized that for all you dispatchers too. You got to realize that first. But that should be obvious though, right? It may not be, but it should be. That first week, it's going to be a challenge because you two parties are working together. You don't know each other from a can of paint, but you're working together, and there should be some bumps, right? But I always say make the mistakes up front and learn from them, and then move on, right? That's a good question. Barbara asked Desiree a good question. What percentage are you charging a percentage or a flat fee, Desiree?
I'm doing a percentage, which is 8%. However, I have a Black Friday sale going on. If
Black Friday.
carriers sign up, if carriers sign up by the 31st of December, they get dispatching for the first 90 days at 7%.
Okay.
So right now,
Are you advertising that somewhere like social media or you?
mhm. Yeah, I have a flyer. I did it. It's on my website. It's on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think I did it I think I did it a few weeks ago, like maybe 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
Okay. Douglas agree with that. Douglas shaking his head.
I like that. I like that. Shoot, I'll sign up. I like
Right?
that, man.
Yeah, people like to save money. And if they feel that they can save money and take advantage of savings, they usually gravitate towards that. Right. And it's then they'll discover whether it had value or not. But the upfront marketing drives people to you, right? The idea of saving, right? The idea of making money by through saving money, right? So, but that's how you promote, brand, and market yourself by providing
To
the
be
service
honest with
and
you
the savings.
guys, I was ready to give up last Friday. No, 2 weeks ago. I honestly was. I'm so serious. Like I was just feeling so defeated. Like all I was doing was leaving voicemails and voicemails, or people like, nope, not interested. And just like, I'm tired. But I think what I needed to do, I needed to just take a couple days and step away.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I'm
all.
literally up every day at 5 o'clock and it's been nonstop working on branding, website, social media, learning, trying to get SOPs created. So I think I just needed to
But
reset.
that's what you do. I see you, Mr. Ellis. I'm gonna let you speak. But that's what you do as a business owner. It's always tough in the beginning because it's your company. You have to put in the work. No one's going to do it for you, right? You are a business owner. It's not going to just fall in your lap, right? But once you get that first carrier, carriers are going to come to you left and right. Now you're going to get to a point like, I can't handle them. You got to get past, you got past that first hurdle. Now you have to, your next hurdle now is performing, finding
Yeah.
codes and keeping them consistent. And then once you clear those two hurdles, the floodgates are going to open up because guess what? That carrier is going to talk to another carrier.
You're gonna tell more.
You're
Sure
going to
is.
tell more. You're going to get free marketing and advertising through word of mouth. Go ahead, Mr. Ellis.
Mm. No, I was just saying, yeah, that's a part of it. The rejection, the voicemails, all of that. That's never not going to be there.
Okay.
That's never not going to be there. I mean, you got one carrier, so think about when you start making calls, more cold calling to get more carriers. It's going to repeat the same thing.
And
But
what can you do?
at
What
least
can you do better than you used to do before you got your first carrier? You should have learned now, right? Once you get the first carrier, you should have picked up on some little
I
clues and
think
hints.
I think for me, I think I'm more comfortable now making cold calls. Like
You got past that
before, I was
nervousness. That
so
nervous.
nervous and like
But
I
why?
think
Why?
about
Wait a minute. Why? Where's the
that
fear coming from? What's up with
that
the fear?
for me, man, fear is a big thing for me. Like my kids, my adult kids, they're so happy, like they're proud of me because I'm not a risk taker at all. I go to the same restaurant, order the same food
Oh my
all
goodness.
the time. I went on my first plane ride ever 2 years ago because fear
False,
moved me.
false evidence appearing real. That's all fear
It
is.
yeah, just fear. But I think now I'm more comfortable, and when I do get someone who actually answers, I'm not like a deer caught in headlights anymore. So yeah, just being more comfortable, being more natural.
Success,
Um,
success is on the other side of fear. Once you get on the other side of fear, then you're gonna see success. It's right. It's waiting for you. It has its arms open, say, "Come give me a hug." Once you get past the fear, just knock the fear out. Hit the fear with a two piece, boom, boom, and then go and give success a hug.
The
or
beautiful
I
thing,
call that caution by nature.
right. The beautiful thing about fear, I will tell you this, Desiree, is it also keeps you aware.
mhm.
Because when you don't fear nothing, you have no awareness.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So
then Damon just said his perspective too. Fear is an illusion.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then I overthink. I think I overthink. I overthink a lot all the time.
That's
It's
me.
what I'm working on. I overthink.
Yeah, Damon, got your hand raised.
Hey everybody.
Hey,
Hey,
Um,
Damon.
hey, one thing I learned as far as fear is concerned is that let's say you're sitting at home and you're making cold calls and all that. The first thing that kind of runs through your mind when you have that fear is like you already making up scenarios in your mind as to what's not gonna happen. Or a doubt or let's say all
That's
these
it.
illusions, all these some things come in your mind, but while all that's being said and you're sitting there, you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there with
Yeah,
those things that's
with them
putting
thoughts.
in your mind.
Yeah.
But just go out there, push it, and just make it happen. That's what it takes. That's what it takes.
That's right. That's so true. I appreciate you guys.
Can you see
For
this?
no,
um
no,
mm-mm.
you got something in front of you?
just stick it in
Yeah.
the chat.
Just,
Well, no, it's
oh, you got something in front of the camera. Yeah,
on my phone.
Let me move my
slide it to your left a
You
little
gotta
bit.
move it. Yeah. You gotta slide it
There you
more.
go. There you go. Is it some kind of message on your phone?
Yeah, can you read it? Can you see it?
Go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it. It went blurry.
Wait, I'm sorry, my fault. Let me. I lost it. That's fine. Well,
Read
it
it up.
says here, laziness kills ambition, anger kills wisdom, fear kills dreams, ego kills growth,
Hmm.
jealousy kills peace, doubt kills confidence. Then at the bottom it says, now read them from right to left. Ambition kills laziness. Wisdom kills anger.
Gotcha.
Dreams kills fear. Growth kills ego. Peace kills jealousy. And confidence kills doubt.
Email that to me, please.
I like that.
Yeah, when you get a chance, email that to me. You get a chance.
Yeah, I sent it to you right now.
Okay. Yeah, but those are true. You just replacing positive energy from the negative energy, right? So, but yeah, congratulations though, you did it. You did it, Desiree. So
You in there.
yeah, so now
Thank
you got,
you.
and then you got a network of people who know what they're doing, right? That you can reach out to and provide a service and say, hey, we might be able to find you something. Now, you're another challenge for you and those who are listening when you do get your carrier like Desiree. And so the beauty of this training is it's good to hear people when they get their first carrier because other people who have not gotten their first carrier yet get to see and experience what that person went through to kind of help you go through the experience too. Kind of put you onto the learning curve, right? Know what to expect. Now you may not have the exact same experience as Desiree went through, but you get the concept, right? You understand the point, right? So, and then you got us who can provide you with insights. Now, with Desiree, your next challenge will be now when you find a load that you and your carrier agree to, is having that conversation with the broker.
Hey, Charles, would you
Yeah.
say, I mean, and Doug could probably answer this question too. So this is for both of you guys. I'll just listen to the two of you. Once you get that first carrier though, like all of the doubt and the fears that you had in your head about, or just being burnt out on making the cold calls, because we all feel that, because it's like we want the success. We don't want the rejection. But once you get that first one, you're not worried about the rejections anymore because you know you can get another one. It's just a matter of time before you do. If you just stay consistent with what you've been doing as far as making the cold calls, because like they said, eventually your driver could tell somebody else, and that's a part of it too. So they'll come in more ways than one, not just based on making cold calls or somebody seeing something that's posted on social media, something like that. It's going to come in a variety of different ways now, but it just takes that one, because now what you're doing is you're learning how to actually go out here and book these loads, how to route them and do all that other stuff. So you while you're learning all of that, by the time these other carriers start coming in, you'll have that part down so well they'll see why the other guy's working with you, because you mastered everything else when it comes to booking loads.
So I got a surprise for you guys coming soon too. I am connecting with an owner operator network and inviting them to come into our dispatching network so that they can hear us as dispatchers trying to provide a service to the carrier. So can you imagine what's going to happen there? You're going to have truck drivers who may need a dispatcher say, hey, man, you guys, this is what you guys do. You guys go on the load boards and find loads and talk to the brokers and do all that. I need a dispatcher. So possibly even eliminating the cold call. If you I'm connecting to a social media platform network of owner operators and I've done my research, whose authority is already over a year old. So out goes the window with that worry. You know what I'm saying? That can listen in on our platform and see how we're doing things as dispatchers. Because I told the guys, I said, look, I have a network of dispatchers who are trying to do it the right way. I know you guys have had experiences with dispatchers who, number one, don't know what they're doing, or number two, trying to take all your money from you, which they should not. I have a network that's going to surprise you. Oh, okay, well, we're interested. Let's connect. Okay, well, just give me some time and let me put that together. So in 2026, we're gonna be connected with a network of owner operators.
Nice.
Who may or may not need dispatchers, but the beauty of that is you're going to get the perspective of an owner operator of what they expect from a dispatcher to make your dispatching service better. Wouldn't that not be ideal for you to hear from an actual owner operator how they want to be dispatched?
Now I was getting ready to ask.
You can leverage that
Yeah.
when you go out to try to get carriers. You can say, well, I know you guys like this, and this, and these are the services that we provide because we understand based off of talking to other owner operators, this is what your guys are looking for. So now you have a perspective from owner operators. Wow. Right? Imagine that.
Yeah, real quick, Charles. I was just going to say too. Now, is it a good strategy per se to kind of put the ball in the hand of the owner operator in terms of, like I said, how they want to be dispatched, so they can be the ones basically teaching you the way they like to go about having their loads dispatched?
Well, isn't that the whole point of the carrier profile?
Well, sometimes, right, you would think, but
Right?
but sometimes, because it just, I think it's experience based, because some drivers have been, like I said, for a guy that's been driving for 32 years, whatever the case may be, his mentality may be something different. Yet, he can do it himself, but if he's going to use you, he expects you to just be able to do it all without his input.
And
Well, that's
it's going to
something we
take
talked
time.
about.
It's
That's
going to
yeah,
take.
that's something. I'm sorry, Mr. Ellis.
No, it's fine.
No, I just wanted to, because it just came in my mind. Like yesterday, I asked him, like, okay, how do you want me? Do you want me to, if a load matches these parameters, do you want me to go ahead and book it, or do you want me to call you? And he said, for right now, until we learn each other, he would like for me to call him first and let him know about the load. So over time, as we get to know each other, I think he's going to start trusting and saying, okay, if it meets those parameters, if it's a good load, go ahead and book it and we'll go from there.
After the class, Desiree, hit me up and I can walk you through a few things that can help.
Absolutely.
There you
Thank you
go.
guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Um, and another thing, like I was trying to market and when I was talking to him about my services, trying to sound like I have experience. But Mr. Charles, I did tell him I'm part of a dispatching community, and we have resources, we help each other. So just to make him feel a little bit more comfortable, but it's the truth.
Right.
So now it's just a matter of providing the services to him, it being seamless to him that it's my first time.
Correct. And that's for. Go ahead, Mr. Ellis. You had your hand raised.
Well, no, I was just saying, no, that's called transparency. I mean, the more upfront and honest and open with, him as far as what your level of experience or however you going about, the process of becoming better at dispatching, it's better that he know now. So he ain't caught off guard with anything or any, like, if it's something were to just, if there, whatever little mistakes may occur along the way, hopefully they're minor, at least, again, you were upfront, you told him, so he can't act like he never knew. That helps. And then again, like you said, he might be willing to help you, fix certain things. Because again, if a guy's got that much experience, then I don't think it's too much that he hasn't seen. Considering, with that amount of experience he has, I'm sure he's seen a lot more than you have, on the driving side. I mean, because he's out there, he's dealing with it all. It's right there in his face. We sit at a desk in front of a computer screen and we're talking over the phone, so we don't see everything that's going on out there over the road. So like I said, he's seen a lot. So, that's to your advantage. I mean, it's just a matter of being able to get him to a point where he would be willing to, like, at least, if, some ever came up, he can kind of help you get through that situation.
Yeah, he knows he knows his lane. He's teaching me about the different areas where he don't want to go. So like he does know a lot. He does
And
know a
then
lot.
I would also say this, and I'll use you as a source from here on out because you got a guy with that much experience. Like the do's and don'ts, and ask why. Why doesn't he like going in certain places? Because sometimes just because you see something posted on a board and it's got a price there, like Charles was saying, sometimes there's a red flag that you may not even necessarily recognize because we get so caught up on the numbers and it looks like a really good rate because, it's not going that far or the cent per mile is pretty high and it's appealing. It seems like something that he may want. And he tells you no, because it could be something about the area that you go into, roads are bad, or weather, whatever the case may be, or the shippers or the people that he got to deliver to got attitudes and they hold you up. It could be all kinds of stuff. I would try to pick his brain as much as possible because moving forward, when you're dealing with other carriers, that might be in a different situation altogether. They are over the road and certain things like that. I mean, you kind of have a lot more information that you can kind of communicate with them, and it'll make it seem more like you have been doing this a lot longer than you may have been.
Okay.
That's a great point. That's an excellent point, actually, matter of fact. Yes, leverage his years of experience as a driver to your advantage as a dispatch service, right? And get the details of why. Like, if you find if you look for a load for him on the load board, and it's good that he's only in Michigan, intrastate. If you look for a load on the load board for him and you disclose it to him, you say, "Do you want me to book this load?" He'll say no, and then you'll say, "Okay, what's the reason? Is it the area? Where's it going?" And then he'll educate you then. Well, I ran this lane before, and I discovered that the roads are this, or one-way streets, or it's hard traffic is crazy, or I'll be stuck in traffic for hours, or whatever the reason is. So now you got some, and then take notes with that. Take those notes because that'll make you're going to be versed as a dispatcher now with this one experienced carrier. You're going to learn so much. And then you're going to learn more when you get to the broker side. When you call the broker and have that conversation, that's your next challenge. That's your next phase. You got your carrier. Now your next phase is to book that first load. Going through that process, calling the broker, hey, I'm looking at this load picking up in Detroit for a drive-in going to Montague, Michigan. Is that load still available? Broker says, give me a second. By the way, what's your MC? Literally what the broker's going to say. You're going to give him the MC. He's going to look it up, he or she. Gonna come back and tell you one of two things. Either it's there or it's not. Oh yeah, that load's still there. Are you interested in it? It's going for 700. Is that something that you can deal with? Can you do that? Yeah. Now, if you want more, you'll say, I got a truck there, like about 50 miles away. He's empty, just got offloaded. He could be there in about an hour. Uh, can you do 850? Right. So now you negotiating, right? You talking to him. Brokers have more money in the load than what's posted on the load board. I'll say that again. Brokers have more money in the load that are posted on the load board. So, for example, if you on the screen, am I still sharing my load board screen?
Yes.
Okay. That first load, 700, that broker, Keller Logistics Group, posted it at the rate of 700. They may have 15 in it. I would say at the very least 12, 1300, because they're trying to get their brokers are trying to make money.
You're
Right?
right.
If I'm a broker, if I get a shipment from a customer for $1,000, right? Let's say they got $1,000 in it and he posted for 700. So he's only gonna make a $300 profit, right? He want to try to make more. Okay, so brokers have more money in that load than what's posted on the load board. Now you're not gonna tell them that, hey man, can you give it? You can give it to us for 800. I know you got more money in that load than what's posted. They're not gonna want to hear that, right? They already know they got more money. Why are you? Well, how do you know, dispatcher? First of all, that's what they're gonna say, and they probably don't want to deal with you.
Right.
But Tiffany said, "Is that when I would ask them? Is that the best you can do?" Yes, exactly. After I pitch my services, rate wise, yes. With the broker, right, Tiffany? Yes. 700. Is that the best you can do? Well, if I'm the broker, I say, well, what are you looking for? Because he may not think you're an independent dispatcher. He may think that you are a dispatcher for that specific trucking company, right? You say, yeah, is that the best you can do, 700? What are you looking for? I'm the broker talking to Tiffany. What are you looking for in the rate? And Tiffany might say, can you do 850? Oh man, I don't know about 850. Can you do 750? So, but yeah, but there is a trick to that on 123 low boy. Yeah, Douglas.
Yeah,
The
Charles, to Tiffany's question. So we're looking at that load, that Novi to Weberville, Michigan. Let's say it's Tiffany doing it and she's looking at the negotiation rate. Charles, can you go to your 123 load board, please?
I think that Weberville thing is in 123 low board. I've seen it. I've been looking at it, and I
Either
think it's
way,
black.
it's still a good trick on the show, Tiffany. It's a trick that I use all the time. Now, can you go down, Charles, on the left side to the market rate? Keep scrolling down. Yep, should be under my trucks, I think, or tools or services, one of those. There it is. All right, now let's put in that at the top is the dry van. So let's put in that trip. Where was it going from?
Leslie, Michigan. Oh, the
It was going
specific
from
trip?
Dobie, Michigan to Webersville,
Weber,
I think.
yeah, Weberville.
Yep. Okay, Tiffany. So you see they had it posted on the load board for 700. We seen that on direct freight. One of the tricks is having multiple load boards up so you can see the variation in what that broker is posting on different load boards. That's one trick. But they're posting it for 7. The average is $406. The highest for that lane is 700. So they're actually high. So we actually compared the direct freight to the market rate that 123 is, which tells you, yeah, they're pretty much doing something that's on the up and up. But you can also look at it as more of a negotiation tactic. Because if you look here, let's say you want to add on $20 more to that. Hey, instead of 700, you think we could get 725 for it? Boom. You're looking at the fuel cost over here, $20.30. Hey, you think you can add another $25 on that? I got a guy who's right there. You know, you could do that. Or, it all depends on how you negotiate, but you can use the market rate here to negotiate to see if they're lowballing you or if it's already at a higher rate to where you just want to go with the 700 and be done with it. Then if you scroll a little bit further down, you see the historical rates for that lane. So you also see what the cent per mile is historically on that lane. So it may make pretty much sense. So we're seeing that $700. That's a good for where they're going. Yeah, that's a pretty good rate for that.
Yeah,
And then
it's
it's up to
above
you
it's
if you want to
above market.
negotiate. Yeah, because it's at the market. It's above the market rate,
It's above
honestly.
market. Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, you can compare the rates and then throw them into the market rate here on the 123 load board. It's breaking down the fuel, the estimated cost. And then if you scroll just a little bit up, Mr. Charles, you see where it has backhaul loads there on the right. Click on backhaul loads. And then now you can find some stuff still around, pretty much around that area. Um, like that Detroit to Montague. You see that? There it is again. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? So yeah, so there's some cool things that you could do. They're saying 764. So now if I call that broker, hey, you think we could get $764 out of that? No, 700 is the best we could do. Hey, no problem. We'll go ahead and take that. You know what I mean? So I hope that answered your question, Tiffany. As far as the little nuances of what you're seeing versus what they're offering and how you can negotiate. I hope that helps.
And they this load that Detroit to Monte, there's 5 loads. There's 5 shipments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of the same one.
Hmm.
So if you have 5 dry van carriers who only were intrastate in Michigan, there's 5 loads. The same broker, 5 shipments.
Right. Or
Are
you can
those the
even do
same
this.
load?
Yeah,
Those
you
are the
can do this too,
exact
Tiffany.
same
You can
loads.
be like, hey, if there's 5, I got a guy who could take one of these each day if you'll let us. I
Yep.
got a guy who could pick these up and take these, you could pretty much line out your week with just this.
Right. Pick like
If
so
the
this, and
broker
remember
lets you.
this is backhaul. So you can do the one load, Novi to Montague, and then go 59 miles to Detroit, then go back to Montague, and then do a backhaul again. So to your line haul. So back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
So 700 up, 700 back. That's 14 a day.
Yep, that can work. But going back to the portal, Mr. Charles, let's say I don't know really, let's say I get a broker on the phone and I really don't know what questions to ask. Where is it in the portal where you had those questions of what to ask the
Yeah, I
broker
don't
when you
remember.
call?
Can somebody show me? I don't remember what those questions were. Is it under a
I think it
tool?
was tools and resources. I was looking for it too. Is it carrier, call script, cargo van? Oh boy, it was somewhere, and you had the there it is,
Yeah,
dispatcher
dispatcher
questions. There it
questions.
is. Yep. And let's see. I think it was a little further down though. Um, it was actually asking the broker different questions like, is the load available? What's the special equipment that needs to go? All of that. It's in there somewhere. I couldn't find it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Like the three questions for the three different carrier types.
Right. Yeah, I think I remember that one. I just kind of it's
Yeah,
it slipped my
It's
mind.
under the I was just looking at it the other day. It's the
Under forms and documents, it should be under forms and
I
documents.
forgot what it's called. It's the low details cheat sheet.
Oh, details cheat sheet,
There
right?
I go right there.
there it is. And in it, it should, there it is. And those are the questions. So what I did was I actually cut those out. I cut them out and I taped them to the bottom part of my desk, right where my phone is. So when I'm calling, and just for some odd reason, I just have a brain lock. I look at those questions
And these what you ask. So and for your specific equipment type. So for
for
example, for
your,
the iVan,
yep,
you call a broker and you say, okay, and these questions are asked if they're not in the details of the load that's on the load board. If they're
right.
missing, so when are the pickup and delivery dates and times? You need to know that because your carrier needs to know that. And if they have it, is it by appointment or is it FCFS, first come, first serve? You need to know that. Your carrier needs to know, is it an appointment delivery? Because they got to set an appointment, or is it they can just show up to a 24-hour shipper and they get in line with the next carrier and whoever's first gets the loads, right? How many stops are for this load? Sometimes brokers don't post on the load board how many stops in the load. It could be a two picks, one drop, or three drops, or three picks, two drops, or a one and one, what's called a straight through, which is one pickup from the origin and one delivery to the destination. That's called a one and one, or a straight through. That's all it means, right? What is the rate for this load? Most brokers have the rate, but if they don't, you ask that question. Is it negotiable? Ask that. Is there fuel sur? Is the fuel surcharge included or not? In other words, is it a line haul? Is it just a line haul rate, or is it an all in? All in means that it's the line haul plus the fuel surcharge. Fuel surcharge is just a price per mile on the number of miles to help mitigate the fuel cost, the diesel. Okay. What is the commodity? What's the commodity or the freight being transported? What's being loaded on that trailer? That's called the commodity or the load or the freight or what goods are on there, the goods. What's the weight? It's usually posted. Most brokers they're gonna not. I rarely see a broker who don't put their weight on there because they got to meet certain requirements, right? What are the loaded miles? That's usually in there. You can look that up because you can ask them what's the zip to zip, what's the zip code of the shipper, what's the zip code of the receiver, and you just Google it and that'll give you the miles. And then are there any special instructions? What are the special instructions? And this is for the drive-in. Now I'm going to update this because there's plenty other questions you can ask to get very specific because the more data you have for your carrier and questions to ask the brokers, then the more thorough you can get that load for that carrier covered, right? And the less holes you'll have in booking that load, or the less unknowns, you should say, or I should say, less unknowns. You want to have as much information to share with your carrier in order for your carrier to make an educated decision whether or not to take that load. And what better way for you to do that than to have as much detailed questions for the broker when you call that broker, right? You want to be as detailed as possible. That's part of your providing a service to your carrier right here. This is part of providing a service.
I
So,
still use these questions to this day. And even though I change it up every now and then based on the conversation I have with the brokers, these are the 7 fundamental questions that I always focus on when I'm talking with the broker, and they do work.
yep. And then you can also and as you dispatch and talk to brokers and conversate over and over again, there will be other questions you can add to this
Mm-hmm.
as well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that because I don't know everything. There may be some questions I may have overlooked. that is just as important, right?
Like for a drive-in, they might ask, does your driver have E-tracks?
Right. And not only that, are they horizontal or vertical? Because there is a difference. There are horizontal E tracks and there are vertical E tracks. Did you guys know that? So yeah. Or load bars or straps or
Mhm.
blankets, right? Because some types of commodities need to be covered with the blankets and then strapped in with load bars and all this other stuff. So yeah. So
So asking that driver, Desiree, what special equipment do they have for that drive van will also be important when you are looking for loads for him because
Yeah,
you
he
don't
said he
want
has
to,
E-Tracks. That's what he put on the profile.
okay.
okay, like how many straps and how many tarps he has. The more information he can give you makes it
Okay.
easier for you because you don't want to book a load that he doesn't have the equipment for.
That's
And
very
then,
important. That's very true.
Okay. So that's what I need to ask. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
you
how
want
many
to
straps, how many tarps, all that.
and for each carrier you acquire, this is for everybody. I know Douglas is probably Mr. Ellis is probably doing this already. But for each carrier you acquire, make yourself a digital record of these different points. You know, the types of questions you ask, the type of special equipment they have per each carrier. That way you have an arsenal before you when you're finding loads for that specific carrier. Refer to your digital file on that particular carrier and all the data that's available for you. So when you call brokers, everything's before you, right in front of you, right? Like a virtual office, if you will, or a virtual desktop. And it would literally be your desktop or your laptop, but you get the point, right? So, yeah. All right. Very good. Desiree, open up a can of worms.
I know I'm sitting here taking everything in you guys are saying, and I got a bunch of scrap paper. I'm just writing stuff down.
Just hit
And
me
I'll
up
put it
after
in my
class. We can walk through some scenarios to get your driver ready for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
okay. Yeah, okay, Douglas. I'm gonna call you. You talking about after class, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But
Yep.
that's anybody. I left my information up there, but
Yeah, yeah.
no problem.
Just call and
Right.
yep.
Because the big thing with dispatching is research. So even though you're getting them a load for tomorrow, you're researching what they can get, and then once you put a load on their back, the goal is to always try to have at least one load ahead of them in the direction that the one that they're carrying on their back. So you're always trying to do your homework while they're moving. That way you're keeping them moving and you're making money.
That's a great question, Douglas. So I'm sure someone may want to ask, they may not be thinking it right now, but they would ask, well, okay, I booked the load for my carrier, my first load. At what point do I look for their next load? Right? And this first load I booked, it picked up on Monday and it delivers on Wednesday. So at what point do I try to find them another load for Wednesday? Is it Monday night?
Once
Is it Tuesday? Is it the day of Wednesday, or what do I do?
And I think that's a good question. Once I book you a load, Charles, and you on your way, let's say to that destination, Novi, to pick it up. Once that rate con has been signed and it's in your hands, and you telling me, hey, I'm on my way, I'm already looking at a load coming back. I'm already looking at backhaul that day. Now, let's say for some odd reason, there's just nothing that looks tasty while you're already en route to pick that load up. All right. And let's say that whole day is just messy on the load board. It's not a problem. That's why I got Tuesday to start bright and early to be looking again at the load boards to find you a load prior to your drop on Wednesday. I'm not going to wait till the day you drop to find you another load. It'll be the day of. We get you we get you locked in for a rate confirmation for you to pick up a load. I'm looking the day of and I'm looking the very next day. And in that, I'm always communicating at least a minimum of 3 times with that carrier. So Desiree, I would recommend, like a morning update, like a morning greeting. Hey, good morning. Hey, just letting you know, here are the loads we're looking at. All right, I see we still got you that load going to Novi. How's that going? All right, well, here goes some other options we're looking for once you make that drop? What do you think about these options before I start calling brokers? You see what I'm saying? So you're constantly feeding him information while he's moving. And then that's just how it goes. So it's all about communication and research.
Very good. Very good. So it's never a good idea. Douglas made a good point. I'll ask it in the form of a question. Is it a good idea for a dispatcher or dispatch service to try to find their carrier their next load on the day of that they deliver the first load? Anyone could answer that. Yes or no?
What was the question? Say that again.
Is it a good idea for a dispatcher or dispatch service to find the carrier's next load on the day that they deliver the first load?
Yes.
Okay, somebody said yes.
I said yes in the chat as well. This is Tiffany.
Yeah, I think so too. Because
The answer
things can
is no.
happen.
No, but
Answer is
however, I
no.
mean, you
So
can't
what I'm saying is, let's say Desiree found a load for the carrier for Mr. Ellis, right?
Mm-hmm.
It picked up on Monday, it delivers Wednesday.
Okay.
So my question was, does Desiree find a load for the carrier Wednesday, the next load, the day of the first load delivered on Wednesday, does she find her next load for him on Wednesday, or does she do
No,
it?
I thought it would be the same day he got his paperwork and everything, his load confirmed.
Right, but that wasn't my question though. That was a trick question. My question
I'm
was,
hearing it. Okay.
my question was, look, Douglas is laughing. I found Mr. Ellis. Desiree booked Mr. Ellis his first load on Monday, tomorrow.
Okay,
That
tomorrow.
first load one, delivers Wednesday. Do I look for load two on Wednesday?
No.
Oh, dang, ding, 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 ding. Why?
Because it'll be too late. He'll be kind of sitting around because he needs to have something. If he going Monday, he need to have something in the turnaround time unless the boards was messed up and it was just too messy for him to get another load in his route back.
Okay, so you get the point now. You get the point now. It's never a good idea to look for your carrier's next load on the day that they delivered their previous load, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you look for it's more wiser, like Mr. Douglas said, to start looking for the next load the day that you booked that first load, or at the latest the next day. It depends on how many days it's going out. At the latest, the very next day, because sometimes loads are booked at certain times of the day, like early in the morning or later in the afternoon. So you don't have a choice but to go the following morning, right? If I booked a load Monday at 4 p.m. that picks up to get delivered on Wednesday, I can't help but to start looking for my next load Tuesday morning because it's too late. 4 p.m. Brokers are leaving, going home at 5. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So you got to factor all those things in, right? As a dispatcher, and you'll learn it as you go.
So
You'll learn.
can I ask you this? So it'll be like if I was realistically speaking, I would be at it. I should be at it first thing in the morning Tuesday, like early as possible.
Well, yeah, most brokers get to their office around 7:30, but they get started around 8 or 9, right? Because they want to
Okay.
get their stuff set up. So, but I would be logged into my load board, logged into my resources as early as you possibly can, and then even set up notifications and dings on your software to ding when stuff comes across your load board. Ding! Oh,
Okay.
there's a load. Let me call that broker. He must have just posted it, right? So yeah, but yeah, to answer your question, yes, you want to do it.
Yeah.
Early as possible.
Tiffany, and the beauty of it is, Tiffany, this is where you manage your time the way you want to. Work until 11 o'clock at night for yourself is way different than working at 11 o'clock at night for somebody else.
Yes.
It's way different.
So
So, because the beauty of it is you have the flexibility of your time. So if you got me on the road Monday and I'm dropping Wednesday, you can relax a little bit because you have about 36 hours really to find me another load. And it don't take 11 hours to find a load.
Okay.
But now you have a little bit more
Cushion.
breathing room to, find me a good load that makes sense. You're not under the pressure of finding me a load right now. And everything is just flowing smoothly.
right?
Okay.
And that's the key to dispatch. You got to put all these, you have to put all these pieces together, guys, and understand how it works. Once you do that, you can be like, man, this is so easy. What in the world I've been stressing about? So, but you have to go through the experience of doing it the first few times and getting that pattern down. And once you get one carrier and start running them regularly, like Mr. Douglas is doing, then you'll know your carrier. You'll know their schedule. You'll know how to set up and do things in loads, right? You'll get that process down. My job is just to show you the technique of dispatching and how to talk to brokers and book loads and get carriers. You create your own system and workflow for yourself once you learn that. Go ahead, Miss Sylvia. You got your hand raised.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
I had a question. I know we're talking about 2 days, one delivering the load and having it by Wednesday. What about same day loads? Like if you have numerous loads, I know maybe you're going from Chicago to Wisconsin. That might take 4 hours, and you're doing loads because you want to be back home in the evening. So how many loads can you? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How many loads can you do in one day? And then in between, what would be a good amount of time to look for another load?
You want that one, Douglas, or you want me to do it?
I mean, I'll just go off of my preference. Let's say that load that we were looking at before, let's say that's $1,000 and it was only what, 79 miles? Oh,
Right.
we're gonna get that today.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
gonna go
Okay.
get that. Now, as soon as we book it and he getting it, I mean, he got 79 miles to go. Okay. We're also gonna look at another load to pick up. Now, if he cannot deliver that load the same day, let's say he's already en route for that $1,000 load, right? So while he's en route to that $1,000 load,
And keep in
now it's all
mind,
about how
keep in
much
mind
time
too.
it's gonna take
Right.
and
Keep
how
in mind
many.
too, Mr. Douglas. Keep in mind too, and Sylvia, hours of service. Right. So
Right. That's what I was getting to, hours of service. So let's say he
Okay.
ain't got enough hours in service to deliver that second load that we're gonna pick up, but he has enough time to pick it up and get home. Okay, cool. Then I can schedule it to pick it up. He can bring it home and then deliver next day, and his hours are already set. You could do it like that, depending on where his location is, and if we're talking about the interstate guy that we're talking about. But the HOS hours are really going to determine how much time. At the end of the day, we at least made $1,000 that day. So
which is
while
great.
he's resting or at a rest stop, okay, I got time to look at a load to pick up the next day because he is still under that load, probably because he haven't delivered it, or he did deliver it and he has no more hours other than his mandatory 8 hours of rest. Okay. So while he's down, we're looking at loads for the next day because we grabbed that quick $1,000 joint, and that was a quick $1,000 in our pocket. That happens like that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you have to. So that's another thing you have to put into your dispatch workflow that you have to consider. You definitely have to consider that the hours of service for your drivers, whether they're intrastate or interstate, right? Specifically and particularly if they're interstate, because the hours of service are more enforced for interstate than they are for intrastate because you're home every night with intrastate. So you're not going to be driving as many hours out there. You're home every night. But if you're an interstate and you're doing same day loads, you still have to consider the hours of service, your 10-hour reset, your 30-minute break after 8 hours, all those things. So you got to consider that stuff, right? So that's just another factor. So you guys as dispatchers, as you're gaining this experience and hearing this information, I would create checklists and a workflow or an SOP for myself. And then at some point, you just list them all, first of all. And then at some point over time and with experience, you will put those checkpoints or key points in a specific order or in the right order, how they should go, right? But right now, you're just getting a lot of information, which is still cool because a lot of us are speaking from experience. Myself, Ellis, Douglas, we're speaking from experience, right? So, but it's good. It's good that you guys hear this, right? So who else is working towards getting a carrier? Congratulations again to Desiree. Um, but who else is working on getting a carrier? Or so what was your first words, Desiree? Let me circle back to you for a little bit. When the gentleman got on the phone, not after the wife gave it, but what was the first thing that you said to the gentleman? As like a pitch, or what did you say to get him?
I think I used a little mixture of what Chaucer gave us, but then also it's ChatGPT. So it's more so the lines like I work with Gyrus in your area, helping with dispatch and back office support. I want to know a little bit more about your company to see if my services can help you. And so
Oh,
that's when he went
oh,
into.
I would have got you there. I would have got you there. You said back office support. I would have said, oh, really? What type of back office support you provide as a dispatch service? And I would have seen what you would have said.
Well, he did ask me that. I told him, the invoicing, the factoring invoicing, doing the rate con. And so that's what I said to him. That was my pitch.
Okay, okay. All right. I thought I could catch you off guard a little bit. I guess not.
Oh, so why are you trying to mess with me, Mr. Charles?
It's better that it happens here in a
I
Zoom
know,
call
right?
Yeah, keep you on your
than in
toes,
the
right?
real world.
Like Doug saying, you become aware.
Yeah, it's better in the
Not
Zoom
more
call
aware.
than out on the road, right? But
Yep.
but yeah, and I'm not picking on you. I'm just
No, I'm just teasing.
so so when you do start dispatching for your carriers, Desiree, will you provide that service in addition to dispatching? Will you help with factoring and invoicing and sending the rate cons to the brokers and all that other stuff that's needed, all the administrative stuff for the carrier?
Yeah.
Or
Is that included in yours? What was it? 8%?
Well, I need to know. I wanted to know what when we're dispatching, what is considered normal back office support that is like that goes with the dispatching piece, and then what's extra back office
That's
support.
a great question. Who wants to answer that?
yeah, I was gonna ask Doug, what is he doing for his guy? Is he doing the rate cons and all the paperwork, or are they? Because some drivers prefer to do it themselves, or is that just a question you would ask them? While you're in the process of trying to get them signed up, do you prefer to do your own paperwork? Because some people do, because they just got the experience and they know how to get it in a way and in a particular time, so they can get their payment, within that same day or the next day, depending on how their factoring company pays them, or would they want to rely on the dispatcher to do that for them? That could go either way.
Okay. So you're asking me what is a back office logistical support, right?
And then
So
does your percentage of your rate, Douglas, does it include back office and logistical support? And if so, what is that?
okay. Yes, my rate of 8% minimum includes back office logistical support. So one of the things I do is interval data and backhaul analysis. What that does is that keeps you out of dead zones. Why should you be looking at interval data, backhaul analysis and trends on the lanes that you're running, right? To plan routes and to keep your truck loaded and your schedule tight and your bottom line growing. That's my job. So that's back office logistical support to me, because a dispatcher focuses on what's next. I focus on what's smart. So not only am I looking at the loads that you have in front of you, I'm trying to look at your entire week. That entire week is building a lane strategy. That is backhaul analysis. So what it is it means I study the lanes that you're running, all right, and I take a look at the rate trends of what's coming in and what's going out, so you're not caught in a dead zone or you're selling for cheap freight on your way back. So that is backhaul analysis, or the backhaul logistical support that I do as far as how you move. Because the way you move, you have a particular driving style, which means there's a behavior on the lanes that you're running. That's what it tells me. Now, on top of that, not only am I talking with the brokers on your behalf, I already know your preference when I negotiate with the brokers on your behalf, because the goal is to get you more money out of the brokers for the loads that you're moving. I'm doing that. Then on top of that, I'm handling all of the paperwork so you don't have to. So the only thing you should be looking from me is information: who, what, when, where, and why. And when when do I need to go, what time I need to pick up, when do I need to deliver, and what's my next load. That's it.
Wow.
That's all you need to be focusing on.
How did that sound, guys?
So I'm dealing with the
Physical
factoring
analysis.
company. I'm dealing with the factoring company. I'm dealing with the broker. I'm dealing with the rate confirmations. I'm dealing with the onboarding. And on top of that, I'm dealing with you to make sure to keep you moving right. Because what happens if you break down? That means I got to step in and make sure I handle all that communication with the brokers, which is one thing is, what type of, in your insurance, what type of road assistance do you have? I need that information as well. Because right now you broke down on the road. So that also means I might have to step in. I have to step in and also find you some means of recovery because you're still, we are still up under a load that we can't deliver.
I like how you change that to we.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, that's what backhaul analysis is. So like to Tiffany's question earlier, that's why using that 1, 2, 3 load boards and looking at all of those load boards, you saw the historical rate analysis, the trends, the negotiation strength. You saw all of that. So hey, for this lane, for this route that we just ran that we got $700 for, you know what? Now I'm also going to keep that in mind with that same broker to see if they have more of those loads. How many of those loads they got coming every week to where we can get $700 every time we run. Now, guess what I'm thinking about? The back office support. Now I'm thinking of establishing a relationship with that broker to create what is called what? A dedicated lane.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Ellis.
No, I was just echoing what Doug was saying, creating a dedicated
the goal
lane.
is not just to book loads for them. The ultimate goal is to get them a dedicated lane, forwards and backwards. Because now once I get you on a forwards and backwards dedicated lane, you automatically making money. Because they're going from point A to point B to point A 5 days out of the week. And all of those rate cons you handling it, and that's money that's just coming in left and right because you're only going from Walmart to Kroger's and Kroger's to Walmart.
And one other thing to add to that too. Now, depending on how many drivers you're dealing with, and in Doug's case, and see if he's got 4 guys, one of those guys, he's already committed to a dedicated lane, so he doesn't have to search for lanes, loads for him. Now he's down to searching loads for 3 drivers instead of 4 because one guy's on a dedicated lane already, so he already knows what he's got. Now he can just focus on them other 3, which makes it a little bit easier and a little less time consuming because you're dealing with 3 guys as opposed to 4. Now, if you got 2 guys on dedicated lanes, now that just eliminates that. So now you got 2 guys you got to search for loads for as opposed to 4 or 3.
Right now, I got 2 out of the 4. I got 2 on that same dedicated lane because now they're giving us more. They're giving us more loads.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah,
now I got 2 that I run over the road. Well, all of them over the road, but they're dedicated lanes forward and backwards.
Okay, wow. Okay, so you got residual income coming in on those 2.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
And so in my case, this is what keeps falling into my lap. I got a guy with a cargo van that I got to contact today and figure out how we gonna do this. He has an MC number, so I was talking to a guy on Friday. I mean, he hadn't gotten back to me yet. I'm gonna call him again, but he's got a hotshot flatbed. I got to try to work with him and see if he's even trying to sign up. The other guy with the cargo van he's willing. Miss T brought him to me, and then
Amazon Flex.
Yeah, and then for the cargo van,
yeah.
I think he was because he's willing to do just about anything. He said he doesn't mind going over the road, but I did talk to him about his equipment type, because he's trying to invest in some more equipment, and I'm like, that box truck, sprinter van, cargo van. I mean that's a challenge. I mean it's limited in terms of where you can get your freight from, except for a box truck. Now if you got somebody he's in Wisconsin, so he's kind of up in that area, like the Michigan, where a lot of LTL stuff is coming out of.
Yeah, he's in the Midwest. Yeah.
Yeah. But that cargo van, I'm like, okay, this is my first time even having somebody that has that equipment type. So my question is like, what do you do with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm asking him because he's been getting work, but I mean, it slowed down a little bit. I mean, obviously, seasonal, whatever the case may be. But I mean, I'm just talking about what other sources aside from, I mean, my first thought was Amazon, because, for that type of equipment, like, you handling that type of freight, because you first of all, I mean, you can only handle so much weight. It's like, I think his max is 4,000 pounds or something like that. So you're not taking anything, but that has a lot of weight to it. So even if you like, no matter how big his van is, I mean, it's a cargo van, so we already know what size it is, but what kind of freight outside of the typical Amazon Flex or something like that, what else could we go after for him? I mean,
How much weight you said? 4,000 pounds?
That's his max.
May do some partials, some LTLs and partials.
But now, okay, so like, but yeah, for an LT, because that was my first thought with LTLs, but I'm, and maybe it's just me and my own ignorance, because I'm thinking LTL more so for like box trucks, as opposed to a cargo van, because I'm just thinking about the dimensions on the inside of, his cargo van, because for one, I mean, you got the wheel wells in there where the tires are, so that eats up a little bit of space toward the middle of the van. Toward the middle of the van, I'm assuming. Well, somewhere within that van in its cargo area. I mean, the dimensions going to reduce. In fact, I got them. Let me see. I'll tell you right now what his dimensions are.
Yeah, because you said if it's 4,000 pounds, then yeah.
Yeah, it's got 69 inches high, 55 inches in width, and 143 inches in length, and it's a 4,000 pound max weight. So,
Right.
I mean, it's like, I mean, unless you're taking like cardboard cutouts and stuff like that, then you can just kind of, stuff like that. But the options kind of start to dwindle in terms of like what kind of stuff he can haul and where to go, even what sources to even go get him consistent freight. I mean, you can find a load here and there periodically, but nothing consistent.
Right. You can find partial pallets, like 2 or 3 pallets here and there to take out. And you said a cargo van. Is it regular height cargo van, or is it an extended? Where it's like tall, you can stand up like 6 feet.
I don't know. Well, I just read off the dimensions. It's 69 inches in height.
Okay, so like almost 6 feet. So yeah, it sounds like it is. So almost 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
55 inches in width,
okay, standard.
and then 143 inches in length.
Right. Okay, it's standard. Okay. So 12, almost 12 feet. 144 inches is 12 feet. So yeah. Okay, so he has is a Sprinter van or is it cargo?
He said it's a cargo van.
Cargo. Okay.
Yeah. Now I got the other guy with the cargo van. I mean, the Sprinter van up in Ohio, but yeah, I'm still trying to like make a decision on how to even go about either that. I'm like, why does this stuff keep happening to me? But then again, I'm like, it's not bad, because I think what it does is it kind of forces me to have to kind of like uh, do a little bit more deeper research, as opposed to just kind of going a typical route of, searching the load boards and stuff like that, because most of those loads you can't really find on the load board, because every time I put something in, it comes back with nothing.
And if you could deal with the difficult carriers, equipment types, imagine what's going to happen when you get the easier ones, the dry vans, the reefers, and the flatbeds.
Right.
But
or even this guy potentially with the he's got the hot shot flatbed.
Right. So yeah, you could. It'll be a challenge, but there are loads out there. But it'll be a challenge. You just gotta manipulate the load board in such a way where you can set the filters that'll apply to that specific equipment type.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll cover that. We'll cover that a little bit Wednesday too. We'll get into seeing if we can find loads, tweaking the load boards for those specific equipment types, the length, the width, the equipment type, the weight, things like that. His weight on the cargo van, his weight's probably going to be no more than, I would say, 6,000 pounds, maybe 5, or the actual weight for that cargo van, based off the dimensions you just gave me. That sounds about right. Because I every now and then the company I work with, I drive their Sprinter vans. We only put like 2, maybe 3 pallets in there, so no more than about 4,000 pounds, 3,500 to haul freight. So And then the same thing with the box trucks. When I'm in the box trucks for them, we put about 9,500 pounds. I know it's a 10,000 pound in the box, but we do 95 because you got to put fuel in there, which weighs down too. We got a 100-gallon fuel tank, diesel fuel. So you got to factor in that weight. So when you go to the scale, you get scaled, you got to make sure you're within scale weight, legal weight. So, all right. So we'll cover a little bit more of that Wednesday. I'll do some visuals and demos on those tougher equipment types too.
Yeah, because because that's the stuff right there that it can get frustrating real quick. But again, if you don't know necessarily how to, like you said, manipulate the load boards in a way that can kind of give you, some
All
options to choose.
all the more reason that I always suggest starting with the easier equipment types, right? The dry vans, flatbeds, and reefers. But sometimes you get the box truck, hot shots, and sprinter vans like literally begging you to help them. They want to
Yeah.
dispatch because, and that's the main reason you can't find. It's hard to find loads for their equipment types, so they're more willing for you to help them. They're more willing to work with a dispatcher. Well, hey, if you can help me find loads, then you can be my dispatcher. Let's make this money. So I get it because it's so that's why I say it's a paradigm a little bit, right? It's easy to get those equipment types and it's harder to find the loads. With the dry vans and flatbeds and reefers, it's a little bit more challenging to get the drivers. I don't want to say hard, but it's a little bit more challenging. But once you find them, it's easier to find loads for them than it is for the hot shots, sprinter vans, and cargo vans, right? So and box trucks. So so that's the position you were in. So do you want your vegetables first or do you want the dessert? Right? So, but yeah, and then Tuesday I got a special surprise for the broker class. I don't know why I'm mentioning it in dispatching, but we got a special guest coming on, but I'm not gonna say anything. But
So you can give me a little bit of a
uh,
heads up.
PFA, PFA.
Okay.
All right, all right, all right, guys. I think we've went over enough today. We don't squeeze enough information out of Desiree, and she got enough information from us. Thank you, Miss Desiree,
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
and good luck finding a load. Well, you're gonna get with Douglas, so you're gonna find a load. That's not gonna be a problem. Well, we got several of them on the screen we had, right? So
Yeah, I'm actually putting in those possibilities. I had created a quick load, like a little quick load evaluation table with different options so I could see it all in one place and go about it that way.
okay, all right, all right, guys. Man, it's been nice. Um, I have gotten uh approved to be a training provider for. I'm in Virginia, the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, for the Hampton Roads Workforce Council, where I could be a training provider for vocational training. So if someone chooses logistics, they can choose the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, Dispatcher 101 or Freight Broker Training, and trying to hold on to the um, learning center itself. So the lease is about to be up. So I gotta I'm trying to get students in there at the same time to get funding in there so I can keep the students in there. So uh Tiffany says, great, I'm in Hampton Roads as well. What city are you in, Tiffany? Tiffany's in Hampton
I'm
Roads.
in Portsmouth.
Oh, you in P-Town. So
Yeah.
you pass my car wash, don't you, on High Street?
Okay, yeah, I live right down here by High Street. I live like Effingham.
Okay, yeah. So my car wash is by the Oats, London Oats, and there's a store right there, a little bodega next to the railroad tracks. It's called CJ's Hand Car Wash. That's me.
Oh, okay. I probably met you before. Okay.
You probably have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm heading there after we get done with this train. I gotta go check on my guys. But any rate, January 1st to December 31st of 2026, they approve you on an annual basis. The Hampton Roads Workforce Council
Okay.
to be an ITA provider, which is an individual training assistance vocation. Basically, they get grants through the Workforce Opportunity and Innovation Act, the
Yeah.
WOIA, right? They get grant funding for fiscal years for different programs where you can select, when you go through their orientation, you can select different. So I've been listed as an approved provider where those students can go through that program and get grant funding to attend the Exodus Logistics Learning Center. The problem with me is my lease is getting ready to become up at the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, which is right here in this screen, this big building right here, the second floor. I'm I'm considering renewing it. My wife said that's going to be a headache. I don't know, but we're cutting it kind of close. So, but I'm trying to get that going, and we'll see how that going. So, I started a GoFundMe. I'm not asking you guys for anything, but I started a GoFundMe. If you are so inclined, that would be nice. But at any rate, it's not a requirement, and I'm not asking. Just want to make sure that that's known. Okay. But there's a lot of people in this area who are interested in logistics training.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, and you can speak on that, Tiffany, right? So
Yeah.
we have a bunch of ports and a bunch of installations here that provide logistical service, especially with dredge. We do a lot of intermodal, a lot of dredge, and there's a lot of box truck movements around here too, because I'm actually in a box truck sometimes. So, but yeah, it's in this area, even though it's slowed down because of the tariffs and the Trump administration. Boo. But but yeah, that's how it is. So, but this would open up a lot of doors for individuals to start their own. So the workforce development is to help people find jobs. The reason we got accepted the Exodus Logistics Learning Center is because not only do we help them find jobs, but we help them become their own bosses,
Yeah.
start your own company. So that's even better. Not only find a job, but to be your own boss. So you're the job, right? So that was my point when I presented it to the board of directors of the Hampton Roads Workforce Council. And they said, well, that's even better. You kind of transcended what we were trying to do. Well, thank you. So, but yeah, but so I just wanted to mention that I'm gonna start promoting advertising, marketing people to come get trained at the in-person trainings at the Exodus Logistics Learning Center. Go through that orientation, get your funding, the voucher, bring it to us, and we'll train you. So, all right, guys. Thank you for your time. Chaucer just chimed in like at the last minute. Chaucer,
Hi, Charles. Good afternoon.
we about to get off. You got some closing words?
Uh, sure. For those who joined the class today, thanks for joining and continue to invest in yourself. You know, I think we all share something in common, and that's we're trying to grow our business and stop working for other people and be successful. So keep coming to class, keep learning with Charles. He's an excellent instructor. We have a great community. We all network together. We all want to see each other strive and be successful in dispatching.
I want to see y'all. I'm trying to see y'all next summer too. I might plan some kind of summer thing in Virginia. Come down to Virginia Beach, jump in the ocean. Don't drown. Come down and go spend some money at the casino.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Work hard, play hard. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I need an event planner because I'm terrible at it and put things together ahead of time. That's something I'm terrible at. But Chaucer, do you have any dates for your next cold calling sessions going on? Because I took the one down because it was outdated. But if you do, just send them to me and I'll put them back up on the website.
Yeah. So yep, I'm going to be starting cold calling. I'll tell you the date right now. Give me 1 second.
So for those who don't know, hey, who are new, this is Chaucer. Chaucer she has Legacy Dispatchers. Her husband's a freight broker, one of my students. Chaucer was in the dispatching part of the course. And they are a power couple with a big mansion on the hill. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, but Chaucer's the one that Desiree went through her cold calling class, and Desiree got her carrier. Chaucer, did you know that?
No, I didn't. Congratulations, Des.
Thank you.
and we were going over myself, Mr. Ellis, and Douglas. We actually was looking at loads on a load board for her and for her drive-in carrier to pick up on Monday. He's an intrastate in the state of Michigan, and we found what's like 7 loads that we have the option for him. We just got to communicate and see what does he want to do, you know.
Yep.
And then she's going to connect with Mr. Douglas after we get off this call, and then further, go along further on the path. So
That's nice. Michigan is a good location.
it
So
is.
that's wonderful.
It's Midwest. It's the number 1 zone in the country. Now the challenge for her, well, not really a challenge because he can still eat. He only wants between 2,500 to 3,000 a week for his drive-in, 53 foot, 42,000 pounds. He's intrastate, so he can only stay in Michigan, right? Which is weird because he has a DOT. I'm sorry, he has an MC number, which is weird. He has an MC number, but he only runs intrastate. Matter of fact, let me look him up again. That just went over my head. Let me look him up.
You know what, Mr. Charles, I gotta ask him specifically because he explained that to me. It was because when he had his dedicated run, I think he had a couple of those that for Ohio, but his plates and the documentation he can't go outside of Michigan. So that now that you're bringing that up, that's something that I gotta circle back for him and get more
Yeah,
clarity.
he may have I may be able to go outside of the state within a 150-mile radius and back kind of thing. So what's his MC number again?
Give me 1 second, Mr. Charles.
Because I remember the name of the company, but it's too long. It's him and his wife's name. So
Yeah, it's 171-4565.
got it. Yeah, let me see this second. Yeah, he has an MC and a DOT. He is interstate. He's not intrastate. He's interstate.
That's what I said to him because I got his information from
So wait a minute.
eCarrier.
So he just don't want to leave Michigan. He's interstate. So his preference is just staying in Michigan, but he can go outside of Michigan. And the FMCSA just said it right here on Safer. So, and this is the judge right here. You can't get past this. This doesn't lie. This is the FMCSA.
So he might be confused about something then.
So now is your opportunity to educate him.
Yeah, he may be confused about that.
Right. So he's because that just caught me. Wait a minute, I'm slipping. I'm getting old. I'll be 55 the 24th of this month. December 24th, I'll be 50. So I'm getting older. So, but once you said MC, I'm like, wait a minute, he can't be intrastate. He got an MC number. He's interstate. Now, if you were intrastate, that means you only have a DOT number and not an MC. If you got both, you're interstate. Right? So remember, keep that in mind, guys. So that just got past even the teacher. I slipped up a little bit, but I apologize. I had a senior moment. So, but yeah, so he's intrastate, says it right here, and general freight for a drive-in. Right? He's authorized for hire, so he has an authority. He has an active MC authority for a property. He's a common carrier authority. Okay? And let's see in licensing and insurance. Let's just get some more information while we're traversing this website here, right? So let's go here. Let's do a little data analytics, right, Douglas?
Sir.
Let's go to authority history. So his authority was granted in April 18th. He's a common carrier of property, motor property common carrier. And it was granted 8 months ago. Almost 8 months ago. The 18th of December will be 8 months because that was the 4th month. This is the 12th month. That's an 8-month difference. Right? So April 18th, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I'm counting on my fingers like an elementary person. But yeah, 8 months. It's over 6 months. It's not quite a year yet, but it's 8 months. So someone may give him a chance. So these are things that you can do as a dispatcher in the background to kind of double check. So when the carrier tells you things, and I'm not saying that they lied or he may not know. He may not have known. He may not have known, right? But as a dispatcher, you do know because you have a resource that is the end all be all, and that's the Safer website. If it's on Safer, it's the truth. So because that's the FMCSA, federal.
Okay, yeah. So he might be confused about something, and if then that opens up some more options for him because I do be seeing a lot of those like for Ohio, Michigan, Ohio, they like really, really close. So maybe
Close.
he's
Yeah.
confused
Right.
about it.
So let's say his preference is only Michigan, then you just have to stick to those lows that we look for in Michigan. But if he says he
Mhm.
go to Ohio, then you could put Michigan, comma, Ohio in the destination part of the load search. And now that opens up more options and more money. Right?
Even
Because
Indiana.
and Indiana, that's correct. And Illinois, Chicago, you can come through there. Right. That little tri-state or quad state region right there, he can eat and still be home the same day.
Yep.
Mhm.
You see? So, or next day at the latest. Next day at the latest. Like the worst case scenario, next day, and still make good money. So now present that to him. If he still says he prefers to just stay in Michigan, then you would just have to base your load search on his preference, right?
Yep.
But if you let him know that he's definitely interstate, he's not intrastate, then that just opened up the floodgate gates. You can make more money now. You probably can make him, let's see, you said 25, 300, 3,000. You probably make like 45 to 6.
Yeah, you probably make 45.
Yeah, 45. Yeah, 4,500. And you getting 8% of that?
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah.
Not bad for one truck. Yeah, starting
Yeah,
out.
not bad at all for one truck started out. Yeah. Chelsea, you still with us? Yeah,
I'm still here. I'm still here.
okay. Yeah, you could email me the information. I'll look at it and put it on the website. How's Darren?
Busy.
Okay. Oh, the
Busy.
broker of the year. He's the broker of the year.
He's busy. I actually was just putting it in the chat. It starts January 14th. It's from January 14th to February 6th on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Okay.
That's when the new cold calling workshop starts. And guys, I mean, I didn't hear what everybody else said, but I'm just gonna tell you, we have a really good time. It's very productive. We talk about any and almost everything pertaining to cold calling. I go over techniques with you. I give you scenarios. It's it's beneficial. Trust me. If you want to be a dispatcher, you can always go through social media. You can always try to find, carriers by going to the truck stop. But getting on the phone and cold calling and talking to these guys, that's where a lot of us end up getting carriers. So the workshop it's really priceless. The workshop is $100, but you're going to get way more than $100 worth of knowledge by the time you finish this workshop. I'm also going to be putting up some testimonials, some student testimonials of my cold calling workshop on my YouTube page. So I just want to encourage you to listen to what real people are saying about the cold calling workshop. Like, I'm not paying them or anything like that. They are talking to you from the heart.
There you go. Send me the link to that too. I like to put it on my cross branded on dispatcher. Freight broker too. Do you do cold calling for brokers too for calling shippers?
So
Oh,
yes,
I'm sorry. Stop. That was a dumb question. I just saw Mr. Ellis nod his head. Yeah. Yep. So yeah.
Yep, I co-call shippers as well because I am a sub agent on the broker side. So I'm always trying to find shippers. Me and Ellis have been co-calling shippers. Ellis, how long has it been? I want to say it's been at least a year. Me and Ellis co-call shippers. That's what I want to
Well,
say.
yeah, close to it anyway.
So
Since
where
like
do
the
you
beginning of the
go? Where do you go to get in? Sherwood just asked that.
year.
So I'll just say Chaucer at legacydispatchers.net.
Correct.
Okay, let me put that in there. Chaucer at right now until I put it on the website here. LegacyDispatchers.net.
And Charles, I started my webpage. I finally have my webpage up after 3 years.
Who's hosting it? Wix?
Wix.
Oh,
There's just one thing I need to change. But other than that, I want you to take a look at it, Charles. Give me your opinion. What I need to do if it looks good. But it is www.legacydispatchers.net.
okay. So you have a domain. You purchased a domain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll go to it now.
You know it. Oh my God, it's ugly. I mean, I'm sorry. Let me see.
Be easy, please.
Legacy Dispatchers. Okay. Me and Douglas, we can
Oh yeah.
we can recreate like the remember the Bionic Man? We can recreate it. We have the technology, Douglas.
Mhm. We'll do it.
But it's okay. The homepage, it kind of grabs you. Okay, then come here, give me your money. Okay, I get it. All right. Ooh, okay, Douglas. What do you think?
I'm still going to do it in the
The homepage, the company.
Yeah. I Googled her, so she's most definitely there. I Googled
Okay.
her.
Oh, she's real. Okay, let me see. I
She's
thought she was
real.
AI. Let me think. I thought she was AI.
I Googled her.
Let me chat GPT her real quick and see what's going on.
Be easy, guys. Please.
Very nice. Very nice. What time are your classes? The January 14th through February 6th, Wednesdays and Fridays. From when to when?
I haven't determined the time yet.
Okay, because someone just asked a question. That's why. But so how long will it be until you do determine the time?
Oh, I'm gonna put the post up at the end of next week, so I'll determine the time probably by Monday, Tuesday.
She got her website from Wix.com. I've been using Wix for I'm like a Wix wizard at this point. So is Douglas.
Yeah.
Wix.com. I mean, so it's user friendly. I mean, everybody
Oh
else
yeah.
daggone what's that WordPress trash? But anyway, I like Wix. It's just upfront, user friendly. I got no
Yep.
issues. I mean, it has a few limits there, but I'm not trying to have a Fortune 500 company out here. I'm just so
Like this.
yeah. So yeah. So okay. Then we got the. So I can have a link on my website to your website.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'll just embed it somewhere or just put it there. So like a button. Hey, you want to go to, and then on your website, it'll have your cold calling sessions whenever you have them, every time you change them. So I can just put the link to your site and they go to your site to get the details of the cold calling sessions.
That works.
Yep. Okay. So when are you going to have the cold calling sessions on the homepage of your website, or are they going to click the button to get to it at a specific page?
They're gonna have to click to it to get to a specific page because the home page is really to grab carriers, not necessarily to grab dispatchers. So it won't be on the home page.
Okay. Understood. All right.
Low board access. Okay, I'll sign up.
All right then. Very good. So we got some bonus information here. Okay. Chaucer came in and hit the home run, the grand slam.
Put that on there.
Very good. Very
I
good.
just
I do
submitted
have
one.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Doug.
I just
I
submitted
do
one.
have
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. What did you submit? I'm sorry.
Just a request for info. That was it.
Oh, okay, cool. I do have a question, Charles. So we were doing a cold call session Friday. It was a
Yeah.
group of us, maybe about 5 or 6 of us in a group, and I got a carrier. I don't know if I want him or not, but he's a hot shot, and that's why I don't know if I want him or not.
Okay.
But he's ready. He's ready to start working with me in about a week and a half. And he is a non-CDL because I usually dispatch for the main 3 equipment types, and they all have MC numbers. I was just wondering if you can give me some feedback on dispatching for a carrier that is non-CDL. Like, what does that mean?
That means that he just doesn't have a commercial driver's license and he's under a certain weight restriction and weight limit. Now, just because he's non-CDL doesn't mean that he doesn't have an authority. Okay. So there's a difference there. You can have an operating authority and be CDL or non-CDL, right? But my advice to you is this may sound harsh, but I would stick to the three majors first. Unless you are comfortable trying to find loads for that hot shot person. I don't know how long their trailer is. I don't know what their axle weight is, how much they can handle on the trailer. I don't know where they want to run, things like that. There's several variables I don't know. But even if I did know those variables, I still would say it would be a challenge for the hot shot unless he or she lives in the Houston, Brownsville area in Houston, where hot shots are prevalent, and he runs back and forth to like Louisiana or Arkansas and back and forth between there and Houston. I would say, or in the
He's in Oklahoma.
okay, close enough. Maybe like Texarkana, Oklahoma, like right at the border.
That I don't know. I don't have my notes in front of me.
Yeah, don't ask me how I know all that stuff. Like every place I named, I've done been to. So it's like, but yeah, Texarkana's right at the border, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana area, right there, that little dot triangle. But anyway, yeah, so he can get. So again, it depends on what his axle weight is, how many axles, what he can haul, um, and where did he want to run? You can keep him in and out of Houston. He'll be great going back and forth to Oklahoma, Houston, Arkansas, and Louisiana. If you can keep him between those states, he should be fine. He or she. I don't know if it's a man or female or woman. I don't remember what you said, but yeah. But again, if you uh, if you have hair, you're going to be bald. Mess with the uh, hot shots because they're challenging. Unless you have um, hot shot carrier load board, Selectus, or My Virtual Fleet. Those are some load boards that sometimes that do too. You gotta spice the filters up with that. Flatbed category, flatbed hot shot, the length of it and the weight on the flatbed category for a hot shot type of load. But you would have to ask yourself the question, um, are you prepared to deal with that? And that's a question I can't answer.
Right. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not prepared to deal with it, but what I'm finding is the three major equipment types is where we win, right? We've already established that. However, the box trucks are the ones who's like, please dispatch me, dispatch me. And there's people out there that's actually dispatching box trucks. So
What
what
did I
I'm
say
doing,
earlier? What did I say earlier, guys? They'll be begging you. Remember I said
yes,
trucks, hard shots, cargo vans, and sprinter vans? I
He
said
did say
when you
that.
came
He did
on
say that. Yeah.
because
yeah,
they're hard to find loads for. So
yes.
of course they need. If I had a box truck, like, look, yeah, I want you to be my help me, please help me. Let's get this money, right? So, but yeah, yep.
And so now I'm exploring actually hiring a sub dispatcher who wants to dispatch box trucks. Um,
Woo, good luck.
I know, I know. And I'm going to tell that sub dispatcher as well. Like, it's going to be hard, but if this is what you want to do, then who am I to stop you? I'll just help you make money because I will definitely be feeding you carriers for
My
box trucks.
advice, my advice for that would be if you are going to hire a sub dispatcher for a specific niche equipment type, hire someone who's already experienced doing those equipment types,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Get a box truck shorty or the box truck bros, all them social media cats to be on there doing their thing with saying that they making thousands of dollars a week. Get one of them to come on there.
Yeah, why
And
not? Yeah,
they're
see,
not.
Yeah,
They're not.
expose
see if
them.
they see
Expose
if
them.
they're
I already
legit or
know.
not, right?
I already know. I know one of them. I'm not gonna say his name, but I know they're not doing it for a fact. So, but yeah,
Yeah, and I definitely will expose them once I'm exposed to the box trucks and the cargo vans. once I'm exposed more to that niche to really see what's going on.
Yeah,
But like I said,
they could have been exposed, but I got more time to try to build up Exodus than I do trying to uh expose these guys for taking advantage of people's hard-earned money. Hey, get you a box truck. I'll find some loads and get you 10,000 a week. No, you won't.
No, you ain't. Can't even do that with the big three
You
right
can't do
now.
that with the big
Right.
three. So, but I don't have time to be telling people, I mean, other than social media, but I mean, I'm too busy trying to build up what and maintain what we already have, right? And grow that than to expunge energy into something else. You understand? So, yeah, but over time, experiences and people have a way of telling on themselves. So I don't even have to worry about it. You understand what I'm saying? So it'll happen in time. You know, everybody has their moments. Like if what's in the dark will come to light. Simple as that. So, but
I totally agree. And one of the things about, my YouTube channel is I'm talking to dispatchers about different scenarios. So there's dispatchers out there who actually are considering dispatching box trucks. So one of my playlists is going to be, okay, you want to dispatch box trucks? Well, let me tell you what's really happening, pros and cons. But I think as much information that we can get that's real is better for us.
yeah,
We don't have to waste our time.
right. Saying it without saying it. You know what I mean? Showing it without saying it. You know. Now you could go on the DAT board and filter box truck types of loads based off of drive-ins, the length of the trailer, the weight, and all that stuff, and then put in different parameters and get box truck loads. But the question becomes, how much deadhead you got to do, what the rate is paying, do you got to load it as a partial? You got to use the complete space of the box truck. Make sure you understand how to deliver partials because three partial loads or four partial loads on a box truck, you got to know what goes in first, second, third, and fourth, and then how to offload it and where it goes to. Otherwise, you're going to be all over the place and you can be burning miles, right? So there's things to that.
And and that phone call I made to you last week about that opportunity that that came before me, I let it go. I let it pass.
Okay.
'Cause it just didn't make sense, and the carrier wasn't realistic. He was telling me that in a dry van, he can make between $8,000 and $10,000 a week.
So I knew that I just wanted you to go through the experience and make the
Yeah, I just told him no.
I already knew that it was crazy. But I said I'll let Chasa. Chasa's intelligent enough to know to make the right decision. So I said, okay, let me see what's gonna happen. So
Yeah,
you did the right
and
thing.
and it happened exactly the way you thought it was going to happen.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
So
just not. He just wasn't realistic, and that's one of the challenges that we have. Like we have someone that gives us a conversation, and we have someone who says they want to sign on with us, and then when you dig a little deeper, and they tell you, oh well, I want to make 325 a mile, you're like, you were not saying yes. We're like, did you do the numbers? Did you look? Because now you want me to be a miracle worker. And that's not what I'm trying to sell to you. I'm not trying to sell you a miracle. So yeah, I had to let him go.
exactly. So I'm glad that you experienced. I wish we had more time. We could explain the scenario a little bit deeper, but I'm glad you went through the experience in such a way that it wasn't dangerous for you as far as taking on that responsibility and then having to let it go then, but as far as you realizing that it wasn't even worth it. So had to, I'm glad you had to, I'm glad you got exposed to it and you seen what it was worth and you decided not to go with it. So that's a beautiful learning experience. So kudos to you, Chasa, legacy dispatchers.
Thanks, Charles. Thanks.
All right, guys. Man, we 15 minutes over our time, man. You guys trying to keep me out. That's crazy. So our next Zoom schedule will be this Wednesday. I think I put the calendar up for December. Yes, I did. The 10th of December at 6 p.m. Eastern. All right. And hopefully, based off of Desiree's experience, some of you guys who are dispatchers and looking for carriers, you've gotten some pointers through learning from Desiree's experience and understanding the process now, right? And understanding what to do and how to do it and things like that. All right. Wait, we are having class tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Monday? No. What you see on there? No. Sure would ask the question. No, that was so I have one person who goes through a mentorship with me, but that person actually I need to take that down. That person canceled because he's gonna be out of the country. So no, we're not having class tomorrow, Sherwood. That is not for you. The only one is for you is the dispatcher one-on-one Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday, second week, and then Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, the fourth week. But the fourth week, Wednesday is going to be canceled because that's actually my birthday. As you can see, my birthday, 55. But Sunday and then Saturday for the fourth week. Okay, so and of course,
Oh, thank you. And
all right.
happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time. And Desiree, once again, congratulations. Desiree, how long have you been at this? How long have you been in the dispatcher one-on-one training before you got this first carrier? How long have you been in the program?
I think I started with you guys. I want to say it was the beginning of October, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it was the beginning of October.
Okay, I can check your literal date. My wife, she keeps a spreadsheet for me. I I'm not sharing the screen for privacy purposes, but um you said October.
Mm-hmm.
Desiree Branch, October 1st. Yep, that is true. Yep, admin at rakeenlogistics.com.
Nice.
Nice. So a little over 2 months because this is December 7th. So October 1st, November 1st, December. Wow. Okay. You ain't playing.
You've been leaning
Uh,
in.
Thank you.
You is not.
Thank you for all the information from everybody.
Yep. I need to start instituting uh testimonials again. I used to ask students, what they think about the program, put it like a 2 or 3 minute video testimonial, and I would put it on the website under, let me show you guys where it's located. And if you guys want to do that, you can send me a 2 or 3 minute video and I'll put it on there. But under services, video testimonials right there. And that page, and I used to have, I mean, they're still there, like tons and tons of testimonials, but I haven't done it in a while. But I mean, the more updated testimonials, the better, because it would just reinforce the fact that people are still utilizing the services and getting services. So here's my intermodal king or queen, Kira or Kyra. She has her own, just like Chasa has her own cold calling course and session. Kyra got into the intermodal piece. I sent her through a training program for intermodal, one of the leading ones out here. The lady used to have it years ago, and now she's a master at dredge. She does intermodal in the ports, and she has her own space. You can look her up on Facebook. So she does only intermodal. She knows anything about intermodal and dredge. She knows it. So, and she started with the dispatching. So yeah, it's good to see people take what you impart to them and turn it into something beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That for me, that's I'm elated by that. I'm satisfied. I'm content and blessed, obviously. So, all right. All right, guys, I will see you on Wednesday. Enjoy your Sunday. I gotta go check out my guys at the car wash and make sure everything's good. Tiffany, maybe I may meet you one day if she's still on here. I don't know if Tiffany's still on here. I think she got off. Okay, yeah, she's in the 757.
Right, everybody.
Thanks, Charles. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, y'all.